वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवी सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीमुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टकी Rindra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 30th chapter, titled as The Description of Adverse Fruitive Activities. So, in this chapter, Kapila Dev is explaining how the material activities or material life causes suffering, adversities in our existence. So, the cause of our suffering is our material entanglement, which is explained very nicely by Kapila Dev here in this chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. One of the suffering of material life is the old age. And what happens in the old age is described by Kapil Dev in this shloka. Kapil Dev says, Vayunotkramatotra kafa samruddhanadika Kashashwasha kratayayasha Kanthe ghura ghurayate Vayu na utkramata uttaraha. Vayu means air. Now, when one is in very old age, then all the systems become weak. So that's called disease condition. Everything becomes weak. So in that disease condition, what happens is in the old age, one's eyes bulge due to the pressure of air within. That's like at the time of final movement, when one is not able to breathe properly, and because of the increased pressure, the eyes will bulge out at the final moment. And the glands become congested with the mucus, the whole upper respiratory tract filled with the congestion. And then one has difficulty in breathing. And upon exhaling and inhaling, because of this obstruction by the mucus, there is a sound which is called ghur ghur, or rattling within the throat. So this is the condition of a man who was very healthy in his young age, but in the old age, at the final moment, this is what happens. One is very weak, is not able to breathe, is not able to speak. That's the suffering, right? So this is the suffering of a man who has worked whole his life for the sense gratification, and now the same senses are causing him the problem. He has worked so hard to eat so palatable foods. He has worked hard to see the beautiful things. But now same senses are failing. So all his happiness is converted into a misery. Further, Kapil Dev says, Shayana parishojat bhi parivita swabandhubhi vachyamano api nabrute kalapasha vasham gataha. So, in this way, now he is under the clutches of death. It's the final moment now. Nobody can escape this clutch of death. And one lies down because now he's going to die, old age, not able to breathe, everything is blocked. All the senses are not working, he's suffering. And now he's on the deathbed and he's surrounded by the lamenting friends and relatives. Everybody is crying for him. Oh, my dear grandfather or mother or father, whatever it is. Everybody's crying. This is the scene of old age. And although he wants to speak with them, he no longer can, because now he's under influence of the time. The clutches, control of time is acting. There is no time left. All his life he did not care for time, and now the same time is controlling him, and he's on the verge of giving up his life now. He's not able to speak, even though the family members are there. The sound does not come from the throat. Srila Prabhupada explains this in the verse in the Purport. For formality's sake, when a man is lying on his deathbed, his relatives will come to him, and sometimes they cry very loudly, addressing the dying man, "Oh my father, oh my friend, oh my husband." And now everybody surrounding him is lamenting. In that pitiable condition, the dying man wants to speak with them. And why does he want to speak? Because he wants to instruct them of his desires. Oh, please do like this, please do like that. He wants to say something. But now, because he is fully under the control of the time factor, which is death, he cannot express his desires. This is going to come to everybody. Everybody is going to get this. One day, this is going to happen. And as he is not able to express his desires, that causes him inconceivable pain. He is already in painful condition because of the disease. And his glands and throats are choked up with mucus. He is already in a very difficult position. And when he is addressed by his relatives in that way, his grief increases now. So, old man, dying, not able to speak, surrounded by the family, everybody is crying, emotional. And further, Kapila says, Evam bakutamba bharane vyaprutatmi jitendriya mriyate rudatam swanam uru vedanya shatahadhiya. Thus, the man who engaged with uncontrolled senses in maintaining his family dies in a great grief, seeing his relatives crying in front of him. He dies almost pathetically, in a great pain and without consciousness. So this is what it is. For so long, we worked hard for all this family and friends and senses, and now we have to give up everything because that is the reality of life. So the question comes here that then when we had to leave all these things, then instead of working on the material plane, if we worked on the spiritual plane, then these sufferings can be reduced. Spiritual plane means understanding right from the beginning that one day I will have to leave this. So there is no point in being attached to them. That is a very important part of it. The suffering comes when there is attachment. When there is no attachment, there is no suffering. So right from the beginning of our work life or family life, we have to work without attachment to fruits, attachment to titles, attachment to respect, attachment to any sort of expectations from someone. Otherwise, it will cause frustration. Srila Prabhupada explains that. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that at the time of death, one will be absorbed in thoughts which he cultivated throughout his life. And that is what is. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajante kalevaram. Whatever you remember, that will be the things you have done in the life. A person who had no other idea than properly maintaining his family members, well, he will have only the thoughts of family members because all his life he thought about family members. But if you have thought them, family members, as part and parcel of Krishna, and you are serving them because they are part of Krishna, then it would have been a different perspective. That is the natural consequence for a common man. So if you have thought about family, attachment to the family, then you will think about the family. A common man does not know the destiny of his life. He is simply busy in his flash of life maintaining his family. Everybody is busy, right? From the animals, actually from insect, Brahma Bhuvanar Loka. Everybody is busy on some sort of engagement. But nobody knows, oh, what is my destiny next life? This is very important question. One should think about the future while acting for the present. At the last stage, no one is satisfied with how he has improved the family economic condition. Everyone thinks that he could not provide sufficiently. Because of his deep family affection, he forgets his main duty of controlling the senses and improving his spiritual consciousness. So this is very important part. So, so long as we are attached, then we will have no idea that my main duty of this life is to not to go behind the senses, but to use the senses for service of Krishna and improving our spiritual consciousness. Sometimes a dying man enters the family affairs to either his son or relative, saying, I'm going, please look after my family. He does not know where he is going though. But even at the time of death, he is anxious about how family life will be maintained. Sometimes it is seen that a dying man requests the physician to increase his life at least for a few years so that the family maintenance plan which he has begun can be completed. He has still planned. He is about to die, but he has a plan. Oh, please give me some more time so I can finish my work. But he completely forgets his real engagement to become Krishna conscious, to understand that I am not this body, I am the spirit soul, and I have to give up this body. Then why to get attached to this body so much? And anything attached to the body. What is attached to the body? Respect, then recognition, and name, fame, power, prestige, all this. And he's always serious about planning to maintain his family through, although he changes the family one after another. And the last one for today, 19th shloka, Kapil Dev says, Yamduta tada prapto bhimau sarabhakshe kshananu sadrishtva trashtradaya sakran mutram vimuchyati. At the death, he sees the messengers of Lord of Death come before him, Yamadutas, and their eyes full of wrath. Yamadutas are very fearful, and in the great fear, he passes urine and stool. Actually, this is a reality. Many of the people at the time of death, their eyes remain wide open, or either they are scared, or they pass as urine and stool, because these Yamadutas are very ferocious people. Seeing them at the time of death, one gets scared. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There are two kinds of transmigration of living entity after passing away from the present body. One kind of transmigration is to go to the controller of sinful activity, which is Yamaduta or Yamraj. Sorry. And the other one is to go to the higher planet, to the Vaikuntha. So we can go to the Yamaloka or Vishnu Loka. Here Lord Kapila describes how persons engaged in activities of sense gratification to maintain family are treated by messengers of Yamraj. So you spend whole life in sense gratification, Yamaduta will come. At the time of death, Yamaduta becomes the custodians of the person who have strongly gratified their senses. They take charge of a dying man and take them to the planet of Yamraj. The conditions there are described in the next verse. So the conditions in the hellish condition in the Yamaloka. So those things are described. So we can see here Kapila Dev is explaining to Mata Devahuti about the life of a man who is fully engaged in sense gratification, never thought about spiritual life. So he is going to suffer at the time of death. Even the organs are failing, nothing is working, breathing is not working. He wants to speak, he cannot speak. So everybody's lamenting, everybody's crying. That's the life of a materialistic person. With that, we will pause here. We'll continue reading of Srimad Bhagavatam tomorrow. Mantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.